had a short brief conversation earlier, and I was amazed to know the last 18 years his efforts in transforming the curriculum while he is working with more than 1 million students every year. So we'll get to know more from him. So welcome to the panel, sir. And Dr. Malmurugan, sir, sorry. His experience, he's currently serving as the Vice Chancellor for St. Peter's Institute of Technology in Aberdeen. But his experience comes from heading research and development teams in the corporate, and then academia to corporate to academia for almost three and a half decades. Looking at students passing from at least 2 to 3 generations and how things have really evolved over the time with respect to the industry, with respect to the students who became graduates and now coming back as mentors. So welcome to the panel, sir. And Mr. Vijay Pandey. So welcome, sir. So I had an opportunity to work with him with respect to one of the initiatives in Telangana, and he's currently heading as the director for the board, the organization here, Board of Apprentice Training. And NATS program, National Apprentice Training Scheme, is one of his brainchild, which is really creating a lot of traction in terms of the internship and apprenticeship across the southern region currently. So welcome to the panel, sir. So today's topic is all about the core of why higher education or why education. It's basically a reflection into the regional economy. So higher education fueling the regional economies. Yes. So in this 21st century where we're all talking about AI-driven societies, AI-driven industry, and AI-driven economy. So all the 195 plus countries, no one is an exception when it comes to the AI disruption. So how the local to global economies are really radically transforming, we are seeing in front of us. And today morning, I heard Dr. Madam mentioned that even industries, they are really unable to cope up with the way technology is really evolving. So forget the educational institutions. So in this kind of a scenario, the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next decade is going to be a real exciting roller coaster journey for everyone involved in the education ecosystem. And this is a fact. So we accept or not, there are going to be huge changes to what is going to happen with respect to the degrees, with respect to how we are going to consume the curriculum, and will that be in the classroom format, will that be in the industry campuses, or will industry come to our campuses and establish the center of excellences like how we were discussing in the morning. So all these permutations and combinations are definitely going to shape the future of education in our country and the rest of the world. And with this note, let's jump into the real conversation where we hear from our expert panelists putting their views and their inputs, their suggestions, their recommendations from all their current experience and the past experience on how the near to far future of higher education is going to be. So I would like to start off with Mr. Rajesh first. So Rajesh, you've seen in the last 15 to 18 years, it is the last 2 decades of your professional journey has involved in directly engaging with the university, college ecosystem and really mutating the industry-based curriculum. I know there was a lot of complaints, but I think today people will come to know that what has happened through you and how the placements or how the talent pipeline was being built, and what exactly, from last 2 decades or last 10 years versus maybe at least in the next 5 years, how do you see things evolve?
Right. So, I'm going to say this as sincerely as possible. Firstly, thanks CII and team for giving us the opportunity to be part of this team itself. the hardest probably thing to do is like have a post-lunch session and everybody's just about getting their head around the desert that they just about had. But we'll still try and keep the folks awake through the session hopefully. So, Srikanth, thanks for that pointer. As academic institutions, we have this enormous opportunity and responsibility, is what I always argue with almost all of our partners. We work with about 2,000 plus education institutions. We power skill development programs to degree programs with all of them. More often than not, the point of friction that we find is, for whatever it's worth, at least the last 2 decades where we've been very actively involved, there was a sense of you cannot question my authority sort of a thing in institutions. It was almost like if the head of the institution says, the department's heads listen, and the students listen, and so on and so forth. That's just been the case. But if you look at the last year or two, even maybe, that's not quite the case. Like students start demanding, students start expecting. That's really happening. And that's a significant, fundamentally different outlook that we're seeing. See, one of the days when we were, in fact, today morning I was meeting one of our long-term partners, this institution management representative. He was very proud of the fact that we never used to do any marketing until like whatever so many years. Now, very grudgingly he accepts, and later during the conversation he said that that's probably the right way to do. Now we've practically become Reels College. We were a real college before. Now we are a Reels College. We're thriving on Reels. That becomes a marketing engine is what. So what used to be like a holier than thou attitude of we are education institutions, we need not do anything to really reach our end customers, that attitude substantially changed. I'm not saying it in a very belittling manner or anything. I'm just putting that in a perspective of where the world is moving. Eventually, as education institutions, what is our primary purpose? We are here to serve the society. Society is industries and students, if I may. And if both of these stakeholders have progressed in a particular way, that's the right thing to do. So, one significant shift that I'm seeing in across institutions, while some acknowledge, accept openly, a lot of them are still shy of accepting and acknowledging, like this gentleman that I spoke in the morning. Like, it's being on social media is scorned upon, it's looked down upon. How can you aggressively market yourself is what we used to talk 2-3 years back. Today, if you're not having enough followers for your institution's page, something seems to be off. I'm just talking about one very, small thing. As we go further, industry is going to be like so much more harder in the future. Students are going to be far more demanding, if I may. We used to be able to like hold students back, or rather hold them honest with attendance. Like it used to be thing, right? If you don't whatever grades, NOCs, those sort of things. Today's students don't seem to bother as much about any of those things. They're still steadily moving towards, if I'm able to calculate capabilities, which is what I'm coming towards institutions, I should be able to progress further. And I can already see a lot of changes happening in that direction. Now, specifically in the context of the topic that we're talking about, how can we fuel regional economies? As institutions, our significant contribution to the society is twofold. Practically any industry, any economy needs human resources. That is a significant contribution we have. That's like a direct impact, whether it is jobs, whether it is people who provide services, that's anyway there. But more importantly, if you take the more entrepreneurial, as an economy, if you're really the fifth, or keep oscillating between the fourth and fifth largest economy in the world, with as of 10. If you really have to like go further, it's so much more of enterprise and entrepreneurial. As academic institutions, we have the opportunity to like say nurture more and more of it. I still remember the days where a lot of institutions we used to partner with, we used to have EDC cells. They were just there. It was like a closed room with a lock and key. With one senior academic professor responsible for that. Nobody will open it. But today that's not happening. Today in the name of Reels or whichever, we still see a lot of e-weeks happening. There's still progression, I would argue. So as institutions, if you're able to like truly nurture the primary responsibility of nurturing talent towards whatever the societal needs are, like services, public or private or jobs or any of those things, that's anyway a core responsibility automatically fuels. More importantly, if you're able to also spawn more entrepreneurs, I would argue we'll be in a much more stronger footing in terms of contributing to the overall economy. Very specific lived experiences. We still have a lot of funds coming through a variety of multilateral agencies for a variety of initiatives and institutions. My humble submission to all of us in the room is like, if you can truly start listening to our students who are enterprising and start unlocking those wallets to be spent. I'm not saying all 100 rupees that comes our way will be like spent fruitfully. But today we probably have this whole, if you ask the student, we probably give it away, there's no fit it away. I think about time we started trusting, like how institutions have started moving away from being a very regimented, marketing is talked upon, looked down upon thing to, I need to be present out there to let the world know that what I'm doing. If you can also start taking our resource allocation to be a lot more listening to what the students want, listening to what the industry wants. Second thing what I want to talk about is like, we do a lot of board of studies of every course, every semester, every 6 months and all those things. More often than not, it becomes a very administrative responsibility. What we miss is, it's a massive opportunity. In fact, I've been part of many years of my partner institutions. It literally is like a document which comes my way. I'm just required to sign and give because like the deadline is passed or something like that. I hope, and if none of you will mind me being very blunt about all of these things. It's a massive opportunity. If you truly engage with industry that we are catering to, and if they're able to like necessarily take their inputs and go about building things the right way, the most common excuse that we listen to as to why we cannot do this, why we not able to, we are inundated with administrative responsibility. As administrators of institutions, we have so many responsibilities, and the most crucial element, which is like the curriculum design and the delivery of the program, the review of what the outcomes were, becomes second or third priority because we have an act visiting pending, we have an MBA visiting pending. I'm not finding fault with anybody, it's just about how we look at what is important. We can't miss the trees to the forest, what is the right? We seem to be like, majority of us seem to be like we're caught in the rigmarole of what used to work 30 years back, 20 years back, 10 years back. That's how our thinking was as administrators. We seem to miss the whole aspect. With the changing times, my humble submission and suggestion is, and request is, if you can work much more first principles like in terms of what is the right thing to do, how do we go about it, start listening to our students. I'm not saying all 10 of them will be like fantastically doing great things. Maybe 2-3 of them will be like mischievous. All of us are students, we are mischievous and then colleagues, as students answer, right? Those sort of things. I'll pause here and probably let the rest of the panelists also chime in and then come back closer to the conversation.
Yeah, great points, Rajesh. So first thing, you're very clear about that mindset matters, and I think the change or the transformation with respect to the mindset of how we are looking at educational institutions as a whole, the ecosystem should probably change. The second thing is, I really love the way you mentioned that student centricity to be brought in when it comes to the curriculum design, because yes, I mean we are all living in the product economy in that language, if you put it. So our first customer is student to whom we are administering the product, that is the curriculum, and then that's our immediate customer, and maybe the end customer is industry. So all this while we have been talking about industry-centric, but maybe somewhere we should get this layer of the student-centric and the industry-centricity, both while we are putting the curriculum and the overall institution model, operating model as such. So thanks for that. So I'll next. I think Dr. Malmurugan sir could add more on how you're 3 decades or 4 decades into this journey, sir, and the next 2 decades, how are you seeing this kind of change, like what Rajesh was mentioning? Do you think the possibility of the challenges, or what all are we looking at?
Very good afternoon and all present here. and look at this one in different perspective. I will look at this one in different perspective. I would like to go in the grassroots level. Let me start with the statement given in Niti Aayog report, latest report. The report it says that India pushed toward $5 trillion economy. And the next statement is the heavy responsibility is on transforming higher education sector into rural engine. This is the statement given in the Niti Aayog latest report. We have tried to move the whole higher education sector into rural engine. What we mean this one? We are not given much importance on the regional imbalance in higher education. We are talking only digital divide, popularly. But there are more divides available in higher education. The students are not getting the equal opportunities, same type of infrastructure, facilities, faculty across regions. You may agree with me that the students studying in Chennai, they may get good bandwidth at lower cost. But the same student studying in Pandey or Tanjavur, he may not get same bandwidth for same cost. The infra is also divided. The facilities divide. The quality of teachers divide. So there is a huge imbalance regionally in higher education sector. But we are talking about the regional economic growth. It depends on two factors. One is rightly said by our friend Rajesh Kumar. Human capital accumulation is one factor. The other factor is financial system innovation. So these two are the two factors that drives regional economic development. Anyway, both these two are coming from the steps from higher education. Both the human capital management and accumulation and finance system innovation. Let me take only human capital accumulation. It is not refers only the working force available in India now. It refers mostly on the learners. Teaching learning in the campuses only when you decide about human capital accumulation. We are happily saying that India is a youth country, India has more youth population. We are happily saying, but the teaching learning should be still strengthened. I am going to cross level, I am not complaining anything now. Still we have road examinations, still have conventional classrooms. We are not able to, we are only going towards maybe 80 to 20% change. Not complete, we are talking more. From morning onwards and different platforms, not only here, everywhere. But the changes are not coming, yet to come. Only we are high to say that we are in AA, we are going to get this placement. But what is the actual level of learning in this classroom is pathetic, highly pathetic. There are various reasons. I am not talking only AA alone, even the basic knowledge, basic skill updation, and what to be taught as per industry requirement. Everything is now having more gaps. Big gaps are there everywhere. Very big gaps are there. We are not able to find the real root cause. We are talking more, but the real root cause is somewhere. If you look at the US, there is a more industry penetration. For the reason that industry is putting units in the university process is traveling to university, staying there, they are doing joint research. So university likes industry likes university. That case is not in India. We have many systems. We have an AICT's annual system called industry fellowship. Teachers can be given a fellowship by the industry. They can go and stay in industry for 1 year. They get salary from industry, but outcome is very minimal. Because industry is going to interview the teacher. To rightly say, which teacher is going to get the job from the industry, very difficult. And we are calling industry to institute. As I said, we want Rajesh for POS, for curriculum design, for POP. There are many schemes, UGCs coming to POP, We can call industry people some few lectures in the college for some subject. They are called POP, but what is the outcome? Do we have real bonding with the industrial institute? No. Still there is a gap. What is the reason? The reason is the skill set of the resources in the institute is not matching with the expectations of the industry. So where we can do something, I'll give the solution also. Only my suggestion actually. Even you can correct me if it is wrong. First, we have to change the KPIs of teachers. I am also a teacher. I am currently teaching fraternity only. I am telling you, we have to change the KPIs. We are only now looking at how many papers published. What is the result of the university examination? What is your contribution to NAC and NP accreditation? With these things are now KPIs. Change it over new KPIs. How to bring industry inside? You have to make teachers to publish a pattern which is commercializable. So put this is the first KPI for every teacher. At least write your pattern should be commercializable. How many patterns commercialized? If you ask this first question, now you open doors for industry. If teachers are having good patterns, commercializable, industry will come to you. They will discuss with teacher. They may have some kind of joint collaboration. There may be penetration inside. Teacher may be asked to visit industry. They can do some meetings in industry itself. Then it may go right down level of students. Otherwise, nothing will happen. This is the first KPI. What is next KPI? And maybe one more KPI also. What is one more KPI? Only after this patterns. How much fund you are taking from industry, not from government. Don't go behind TSC, AICTE, brag funding, that funding. Please go to industry. You showcase your patterns. Get the grants from them. Invite them to write institute. Get more grants from industry. Develop center of excellence. Center of excellence is wrongly understood now in all institutions, including my own institution. Center of excellence is not center of study. Center of study only we have. Center of excellence should be a center where there should be a real research should go on. There should be industry contribution. There should be a guide providing solutions for local problems. We all know that Tirupur is known for textile. Tirupur is known for knitwears. How many institutes nearby Tirupur are teaching any skill course on fashion design or knitwear? Nothing. Except one or two institutions. Even Salem is known for silver ornaments for more than 40, 50 years, even more than 100 years. Do you have any certificate course they could teach those people on how to make or how to use smart manufacturing for making silver ornament? No. There are many engineering colleges in Salem. Universities are there nearby, Coimbatore is nearby, but no. So we don't have a center of excellence actually what is required for solving problems of local needs and really to involve industry inside with our own right skill set. So the second one is how to get grants from the industry. Second KPI. The last one is out of this how many startups you created. If you bring these 2-3 KPIs for every teacher, then only we can go for really making industry institute interaction. Then only we can go for regional economic growth. Then only we can go for how to use higher education for fueling regional economy. Because the topic here is higher education, how it fuels the regional economy. Regional economy, see, we have plenty of problems everywhere. Plenty of problems in Tamil Nadu itself. You don't focus only on Chennai. You please go down to all the places, you can find many problems are there to be solved. Who is going to solve? So, higher education should come forward. The institute should be empowered by this way, and we will write more for teachers, our students to join together to solve all these problems. Then only we can go for completely going forward toward the regional economy. Otherwise, it may be only from talks, all we work in silos. There is no distribution among regions or from state to states. So try to make economy be distributed from all the parts of the state or from all the parts of the country, all the parts of from the global. It is missing now. Chennai may contribute more, Madurai may be less. Even look at Chennai, Chennai may be more, if you go to Kanjur may be less. Even nearby, right, outskirt area are not giving very much contribution. The reason is we don't have that kind of ecosystem. We are talking innovation, we are talking consultancy, we are talking research, we are talking right startups. Put all these together and how to like bring these things together is only right. We have to make some kind of different type of strategy in the institutions. Existing right strategies will not help us to grow. So we have come out of this. That's why I request CII, the body of CII, that bring new the strategies for the institutions. Institutions in metros, institutions in tier 2 cities, in tier 3 cities. So different type of strategy we have to bring, and we have to make them to rise at a different pace, and they have to join together and we can go for the overall growth. So this is right my view. I am giving the different because I am listening from morning onwards. I don't know same type of repetitive the input right to the audience.
I think you have particularly you have nailed it onto those 3 points there. One with respect to the faculty layer transformation with the new KPIs and solving local problems. There are millions of, at least billion problems out there for every institution to reach out to the local industry, faculty, students, work through the center of excellence and bring back those to the campus and solve from the campus and again put it back to the industry, give it back to the industry. And these things I think pretty much are practically doable, and I think we're all doing it in small time, but this should probably become the new culture. So that's how I could interpret that. Thank you so much. And Vijay, Shekhar, Pandey. I know, we have been meeting often, and there is a lot going with respect to the government, the southern region, states, working day in, day out with respect to the curriculum transformation and building an ecosystem around it. And like how our colleagues have said, with respect to translating them into industry solutions while working there or while working at the campus, and also some extension towards startups and a new economy. So the existing economy driven efforts as well as the new economy. I know a lot of schemes, a lot of initiatives have been happening, so we like to throw some light there and add upon to our panelists.
Thank you. So, we are from the Board of Apprenticeship Training Southern Region, Chennai. Some of you might have heard the name and some of you may not be. We are implementing this National Apprenticeship Training Scheme for the graduates and diploma holders in engineering pass outs. And that was happening, this graduates and diploma holders in engineering was happening from last 4 decades, you can say. And in January 22, we got the approval from the government to implement this National Apprenticeship Training Scheme for the general graduates and diploma also, like we say BA, BSc, BCom and all. When we were going to the students and we were asking whether you want apprenticeship or whether you want a job, you know the answer will be very clear. Everybody will say, I want job, I don't want apprenticeship training. Then we thought, and we also got a lot of feedback from the industries that what we should do in this case. So the answer came that why not this apprenticeship training should be part of the curriculum itself. If it is integrated as a component of the academic course itself, every student has to undergo this part as on the job in the industries, and it will make it mandatory for them to get their degree or diploma certificates and all. So for pass outs, we were doing that from last many years and in southern states. But one new fantastic feature that has been added very recently in October 2025 by the feedback from you all and from the industrial bodies and association, government has also agreed that if any institutions, whether it is a general degree, diploma institution, technical, non-technical, both, if they can integrate at least 6 months industrial training in their curriculum itself in the final year, and it can be the full, you might be knowing that this has not come just in the silos, it has come as a part of NEP, National Education Policy, where it has been mentioned, UGC has also issued the guidelines, and AICT also, that is a technical regulator and general education regulator, both have issued the guideline that 6 months industrial training should be compulsory. If it is a 4-year degree course, so they have mentioned that at least 2 semesters minimum and maximum 4 semesters. If it is a 3-year degree program, so in that case 1 semester minimum and maximum 3 semesters. So that is as per their guidelines only. So that has come to us as a approved one from the Government of India from October 2025, and we started implementing this. First we have approached to the Commissioner of Technical Education, Government of Telangana, and we were very happy that, as previous speaker was telling, that no, it is very difficult to change our education systems because it has many layers. So I was very happy that within a 2-month time, October we approached as soon as we received the approval from the government, and in December onwards the entire diploma programs, polytechnic programs across Tamil Nadu, it has been converted into the apprenticeship embedded degree programs, where 6 months industrial training have been made compulsory. And to my surprise, that December onwards the student started enrolling for this program, and in one single shot almost 4,611 students have completed the apprenticeship training till June 2026. And in this apprenticeship training program, it is not like just learning by doing, it is earning while learning also, the concept is there. So the minimum stipend that is prescribed for these kind of student is 9,600 minimum, that is a minimum stipend. Out of that, 4,800 Government of India gives in the form of subsidy as a DBT directly to the apprentices from board offices, that is our offices. So by seeing this success, this year the Government of Tamil Nadu has converted the entire final year itself as a part of the industrial training component. So now 1 year have been completely final year, you can say, it has been converted into the scientist program or apprenticeship embedded degree programs. You can understand the success of this program, then only they have converted the entire 1 year. But again, as one of our earlier speaker was telling, this education system should be having like, it should be like aspirational for the students. What they want, we have to understand. Earlier, whatever curriculum is there, rote learning is there, they can understand, they can read, they can pass good marks, 100%, 100% I think. But now the situation is not like that. Some students are willing to undergo industrial training, some students still want to go for higher education. So again, I am thankful to the government that they have not made it mandatory, again they have made it aspirational. They are telling that if you want to go for academic session, yes, you can go. And if you want to go for industrial training, you can go in this way, apprenticeship embedded degree program way. So that is running very successfully in the state of Tamil Nadu. Similarly, the same effort has been made in the Telangana state also, and thankfully the Government of Telangana has also converted all the diploma programs into the apprenticeship embedded degree programs, and the students are undergoing from the June 2026 onwards as the apprenticeship embedded degree training, that is part of the apprenticeship training. You might be having many 3-month, 2-month different kind of training programs, but you know that when the students undergoes the training in any industry, lot of obligation comes. Industry will ask what will happen, if suppose something will happen, who will take care of all those responsibility, who will take care and all. But when they are part of this apprenticeship training program, which is well regulated and part of Apprenticeship Act, everything is being taken care of. Similarly, we have also approached to the Government of Karnataka and an entire general degree program that you say BA and BSc, BCom, BBA, BC and all. It has also been converted into the apprenticeship embedded degree programs, means 6 months, that is also a part of industrial training component, and they are undergoing the apprenticeship programs there. So this is the, I feel this is the need of our. And you can understand that when, as a part of curriculum, when they complete this apprenticeship training, we don't have to wait that once they come out, again they go for, because again and again we are listening that what the industry demands, what we are supplying, it is not matching, but how many years, how many times we will repeat the same sentence. So this was the need of the hour that has been built in, and now I request if all the academic institutions can come forward and build this kind of curriculum so that the students, when they come out, they will be the industry ready. They don't have to wait for any kind of opportunity further. They can directly go for employment purpose, or they can go for developing their own ventures. Another important thing that we have noticed in this ADDP Apprenticeship Embedded Degree program is that you know that the polytechnic institutions, they are scattered, it is not like industry and all, they are scattered around tier 1 city or tier 2 cities. But academic institutions, they are scattered across the state, even in rural area, even in remote village and all. And what we have done is, because pilot we have started from Tamil Nadu state only, so we try to map those colleges with the number of industries that we were having, so that the student don't have to go commute from one place to another place. Let us say from Tenkasi they have to come to Chennai. They can't survive in just in 9,600. Suppose they are paying the same amount. So that has worked very well, we found out, and that has given a kind of boom to those students that they have completed 6 months training successfully, and they were very happy. And we also found that some of the students, because one side they have saved the money, again those money they might have invested somewhere, so if the money is now rotating. So again we can say the regional economy will improve in one way. Another side we have seen that those diploma students, you know that they are very strong enough, they are skilled now, and they have developed, some of the students to whom I personally know, they have developed their own ventures itself. So when they become entrepreneur, obviously it is booming to the regional and local economy also. So my request to all of educational institutions is that kindly look towards this also, where the regulatory approval is already there. And if you can find out, even to all the private institutions also, I will say that if you have any kind of industry where you know that these kind of students can be trained there, you can provide us the database where we can onboard those industries. Because under the Apprentices Act, it is mandatory that any industry having 30 or more than 30 manpower, they have to provide the apprenticeship training. Though it is not mandatory for the students, those who have passed out. Now it has been mandatory as a part of curriculum for AEDP students, but not for the pass out. So suppose if you want to curriculum, modify your curriculums and all, even Monday we are approaching to even University of Kerala and APJ Abdul Kalam University in Kerala. Many universities now they are showing the interest and trying to convert their programs at least 6 months as a part of AEDP. So my request will be that let us move towards that, so that our students, when they come out, they will be the industry ready. And obviously once they are industry ready, so employability will be high, employment will be generated, and they will go for their own ventures also, that will further fuel our regional and local economy. So that's all from my side. Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me in this program.
Thank you, Pandey. So this is one major shift I think we have seen with respect to incentivizing the student and also the industry, balancing, striking that balance through this particular NITS. Because when we were working on this in Telangana, like in the month of Jan, when we met Mr. Pandey and team, until then, you know, we were all framing the curriculum, we were busy working like day and night, bringing in 100 to 120 SMEs from different industries, who are not just from the HR teams, but also from heading the different, the business units internally. But the moment we came across this scheme and the way it catalyzed the whole process, and I think we pushed it through CII to the industries that hey, there is one scheme called NITS and you guys can really enroll into this, and all the HRs were really happy because whatever the contribution that is coming from them with respect to stipend, I know it's a cost to company, but when 50% or 60% of the stipend is again coming from the government, and that is filling the pockets of the students, because the rural students more specifically, they cannot afford to travel to this industry. Though we provide them the opportunity, the cost of traveling, the cost of commuting to the work is something which is not affordable for them. I think with this kind of scheme, the major problem was solved, which Dev and was putting forward. Like, how do we? Linking is fine, but even to travel 5-10 kilometers for a student, who is like outside Hyderabad or somewhere in the rural region, Srikanth, I think we will have a lot of problems. And I think we got an answer from this. So this is one immediate solution where we kept the student in mind and also the industry in mind, which Rajesh was mentioning, right? There was the student centricity as well as the industry centricity. And one good example of innovation curriculum or the scheme innovation that really is catalyzing this moment. And I think this can propagate to the engineering and other university education streams as well. And one most important thing that I would like to add before we conclude for the day, considering the cognizance of the time, is most of the autonomous colleges and universities, they can embed or bring in something called corporate problem solving or government problem solving or local problem solving, right, kind of a subject it need not be a chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 kind of a curriculum. Keep it open for the local industry to come, partner with you, plug and play, because the challenges that we observe with curriculum design is the expectancy is we have to sit and frame like, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 curriculum. Rather, keep it as a plug and play mode where the industry will take, their own stance of how to deliver it. And a student will get engaged with the local industry or a startup, right? And you don't have to get into all the kind of center of excellence or a kind of MOUs and everything. So the industry would love to really come to your campuses and with respect to their efforts. Could be MSMEs as well. It's not just with the AI or the deep tech startups. So this is something that we are pushing in Telangana, and I think every other state can really, and if it's already happening, then definitely it's a good step. So these are the kind of it could be a 3 creditor or a 4 creditor the coursework that can come in the second year or third year of the programs, to be diploma degree or engineering streams. Let it be more like a USB port for the industry to come and plug and play, and let them decide the curriculum and let them give the grades, because it's end of the day we are solving a big problem, and schemes like NATS and tomorrow what all are going to come will definitely aid them with respect to the commuting or any other costs that are incurred in this process. So I think on this note, today I think we pretty much, it's a big topic to discuss, because regional economy and the word economy, if we start dissecting it, I don't think the full day would be really enough. But I think we've pretty much touched on the cream of the story, with some deep touch points. And I would like to keep the floor open for a few questions from our audience, please.
Dr. Asokan, Dean of from Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science. Are you able to hear me?
You can give this mic.
Good afternoon, thank you for the panelists. I am Dr. Asokan, Dean of Aeronautical and Aerospace Engineering from Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science. My question to Mr. Vijay, Shekhar, Pandey and CII. It is good to see that apprenticeship is given and motivating the student to achieve it. But there is big constraints in some of the areas where the CES and other areas where the industries are there. Students from one state to other state, if they apply, they say government has not permitting the other state students to take up the apprenticeship. It is not with the government organization or the national organization. It happens with the private organization, including international companies. I face these issues, not only to one state. I request him and as well as the CII to take up, and maybe whatever the solution can be given to that, so that everybody will get benefit out of it.
Thank you for your question, sir. Actually, this question was valid sometimes because I also joined this apprenticeship training department in 2007. And till 2012, yes, that was the problem. That if one region students or one region student goes to another region, at that time they have to get the NOC from other regions. But that problem was escalated, and now that kind of problem is not there. I think it might be a kind of misinformation, but that problem does not exist as on today. If any such problem is there, you can bring it to my notice also.
Sir, but it's not officially informed. They say the concerned government is not allowing them to give the apprentice to other state students.
No, sir. If that's what I am telling you, because NATS is a national scheme.
Yes, sir.
It is. Yeah.
Make a survey of organization how the students are doing, because if you tell, there is a proof for me to challenge the.
Yes.
order.
If any students, sir, because you might have said with some inferences, some student might have told you. Just ask them to.
I myself was contacted, officially contacted.
Okay.
No reply, but they told verbally this is the issue.
Okay. So let me see that if you can give me at least one example so that I can explore further beyond that. Please. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. I think after the good food for the stomach, there was a very good for thought also. So thank you panelists for that. I'm Dr. Manjula from Dean Student Affairs, University of Madras, and a faculty in the Department of Animal Studies. in continuation to the suggestion that you were giving towards the end, Vijay, there's also this concept of pro bono consulting in foreign universities, where multidisciplinary teams of students from various disciplines come together, and there's also the industry which comes with a real life problem. They share the problem, and as a client, they travel with this team of students. They're given 6 to 8 weeks to solve the problem, and periodic review is done by the client. This is an excellent mechanism where there's also cross germination of ideas. Different discipline students can come together and they can work together, solving a real life problem. But the problem that we see in the academia mostly is that our research is publication focused and not problem solving focused. This change, if it comes, I think it will solve a lot of issues that are there, even related to the topic that we are discussing today, that is contributing to the regional economy. I would like to take, have your thoughts on that. This is one. And the second is, with all due respect to the panel, see, many times whenever there is any discussion on changes that has to be brought, most of it rests finally on the shoulder of the teachers. The KPIs of the teachers have to be reinvestigated. If I am making a patent which is commercializable and I am sure that it is going to fetch me money, why would I teach? I would go and make money out of my commercialization product and leave the job. It is anyway not a very high paying job today, teaching. It is no more lucrative. Okay, so this is one. Secondly, what I can say, this is from my experience of also being as the program convener for the Entrepreneurship and Career Hub of the University of Madras. See, we have seen that there is some change today in the academia. After a lot of years, that is 160 plus years it took for the University of Madras to bring in an Entrepreneurship and Career Hub in the university. The other state universities are also no different, I would say. But one of the challenges we faced when we started the hub is to see that when we ask for business proposal from the students, mind you, these are all post-graduation, PDF and PhD students, they submit project proposals and not business proposals.
I'm getting where you're heading. These are everything related to mindset. I can clearly see.
There's also training requirement. It's not just mindset. See, they are all academically brilliant children, but they don't know how to take their projects to as business proposals. So initially, let us finish. Just give me a second before you intervene. What we saw is that we have to train them on the basics and fundamentals of business proposal writing. So we have to train these students and then bring them into that platform where they could think about making a commercializable project. This is a lacuna we see. Another thing is, we wanted the faculty to be mentors to these students because we were giving them seed funding, and we have distributed almost 50 lakhs seed funding to the students to start their incubation. So with that background, I am telling you, the faculty, see, when we bring up a proposal, there should also be a policy which is on both the sides. Now all these policies is one-sided. What is the faculty getting out of it? At least whatever the NEP says, that they should be allowed to become the director of the firm that they are creating. Now you are saying we may create KPIs asking them how many startups you have created. But what will I have as a stake in the startup that I am creating? So there is a need for a vision where there is a policy change. When you are talking on one side, there is also the other side of the coin we have to see, and there should be a balancing out. This is a humble request that I make to you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Very good question. At least questions to me only. Don't to me. Not a whole panel. Let me give the answer right in a different the way to suit your the satisfaction. I'm not saying that I'm giving the complete answer what you're asking. First one is as I said, mindset. So teachers are not coming here only for making money. That kind of actually this is a paradigm shift. See what I am saying, my teachers in my time they were not coming for only for the salary sake or for this one, only out of passion. So we are making generations. I'm not hypothetical. I'm not hypothetical, don't think hypothetical, right? I believe that I am making more good generations. Only father I am coming. I was in industry. I am in teaching.
So you get your money, basically.
No, not like that. Then I go here, come to teaching once again, not like that, right? I was in teaching. Then I moved to industry. I returned back to teaching. Right? It is not like the other way. Right? I was in teaching. All 18 years I was in teaching. Completely. Right? The 18th year after making a PhD, because of PhD, industry invited me. As a R&D right head only, not as a regular project manager. I was heading the R&D only, right? Because of my research. Then after putting my maximum effort on the R&D side, because of ethical issue, I resigned job. Not because of sad other things, right? I returned back to, I don't know about this story anyway. Well, otherwise I'll do the story later after the time. My friend, he knows all the story. Right? So I returned back to the academia. Right? I am in the academia, I am still handling one subject. I am now vice chancellor, but I am handling one subject. Right? I am taking one subject. So I want to be a teacher forever. Even after my service, after retirement is over. I am like in the superannuation only. So after my full service, I will go and take classes in the schools. That may be my future plan. I will be teacher always. Always teacher, right? I am not borrowing.
Can I add one point here? So we had, I'm just taking reference from our, history, mythology, how we want to put it. We had Sri Krishna who had everything, but he was a guru. We had kind of Dronacharyas who left everything. They could have become kings with all their powers, right? But they chose to be guru. And we had somebody, in the family who turned into gurus, technically. So it's not that guru factor, the mindset is not always that, okay, I have all the capability, why can't I become the king always? Or why can't I become the entrepreneur? So that's
Teachers are teachers by choice and not by chance.
no, it's both for livelihood also, because I chose this profession, I moved from my enterprise architecture profession, and one of my guru is here. And when I got into this thing, there are a lot of people who questioned me, Srikanth, you are doing a stupid thing by getting into education, transformation. You could have earned a few millions, in your corporate journey. Why do you want to get into all this education, transformation? So it's not always like, we're not trying to boast about ourselves here. The point is, there are people who come into profession for livelihood. Maybe later they realize, but there are few people, at least 50% of the people who come by passion. I know a lot of such people. And for us, maybe in the next 5-10 years, we will see more such bandwidth, because last 3 decades we had a lot of industrialization in India. We have more people in 40s, 50s and 60s who have 2-3 decades of corporate experience who can potentially become faculty. So we're not saying that the existing layer will definitely change, because there is a lot of opportunities. The professor of practice and other things that we introduced in Telangana is inviting people from industry, and also those who worked in industry for 2 decades, 3 decades, please come and join the workforce. Because that layer is very important. Every day in, day out, because they are the parents, who are conditioning the professional, the life, right? So that's the point we are trying to put it here. So well put, we need to keep the faculty KPIs. I think these points should be well taken. We should also keep what is for them, what kind of benefits can flow to the faculty, because they are doing the real, good job, dirty job, everything on the floor. So because we are also faculty, so that's where we resonate.
And I have one more thing actually, right? One more thing. So once if you go for startup, once you go for the commercialization pattern, everything, definitely there will be incentive model. Don't worry about that, right? All the institutions will bring, right, some kind of incentive model for the teachers who are doing this, because all the teachers will not do. All will not do it. Only maybe 20-30% they may go for this one initially. After getting taste everything, they will become 40-50%. Once regulatory agencies is giving some kind of conditions, it will go over 50-60%. And it depends upon industry penetration also. So all of them having some kind of interconnection, not happen immediately. But what I am telling is some suggestions, right? How to go for more economic from higher education I am talking, right? Otherwise, if the connection between the higher education and economy is not coming, this topic would not come. So teachers only can do all those things, others cannot do anything. Directly will not ask the students to do, they will not do. Because students, they have like minimum attention. You may not like, see, 15 years before, I am teacher for the past 38 years, right? So I have seen my students sitting in the classroom for 30 minutes without any deviation, full attention, even some 15 years before. But now, making students sit in the classroom for 5 minutes, focusing on my class, is very difficult. It is a global survey, it says that audience will not be focused by more than 5 to 10 minutes, including this audience also. So there is a survey I'm telling you, right? So how to get you to attract towards me is my ability, right, of teacher. How to make you to listen to my class. So I should do many things, right? I can't teach always. I have to give some drill. I have to ask something to do, right? Role play. I have to make some video. I have to play something. All if I do, then I make students sit in 1 hour fully right to my attention. Otherwise, only 5 to 10 minutes. It's very difficult, right? And now you know very much, right? Because of technology, right? Technology, they are going for short films, going for reels. Not interested to see 3 hours film. They won't go for shorts. That's all. Only somebody they are interested. They are not interested to go for full length.
This discussion can go on after over the tea. You know, the very interesting topic that you brought up.
I'm telling you just right. I want to make the future right suggestions may come from even from old people like this. Right? I'm telling you right away this is going to come. But this is the only way, no other way. This is the only way. But for this, we may go for now. We have innovation cell. We may go for hereafter technology transfer office in the universities hereafter. So we may have attending from patent side. We may have some kind of business model IT people. What we are asking, right? So we may have some people for market analyst, or will be available in the campus itself. They'll help you how to go for the patent to be commercialized. So this is going to come. So I'm telling you, right? This is the way. This is the order. This is the changes are very fast now. So teachers, we have to change it. So we have to come out of our routine right thinking, our right old style of working, or we have to come out of that. We have to change it no other way. But anyway, it's a good question, right? Many of them they have questions in mind, right? You're asking.
I have a good question. I have a question, sir. It's a wonderful, good afternoon, wonderful proposal by the moderator and exemplary narration by the Vice Chancellor, sir. Sir, today from morning till evening we are talking of innovation, skill gap, skill sets and the policy regulation, etc. Don't you think, sir, this in the entire room, everybody has the brain with the same number of neurotransmitters. The functioning is also the same. Only the functionality is different. So innovation, skill set, and India is transitioning from digital economy to knowledge economy. Biggest balance. Everybody is talking. So this has to come through knowledge economy, where we are traveling to, sailing to. Now we are in digital economy. So it should happen, higher education has to be defined, redefined and redesigned with learning to unlearn and learning to learn to unlearn to relearn, skill, reskill and upskill. This can, if you can really come up with your university. I saw you are a research heading, then there is a IP getting developed in some other territory. This we can plug the IP for education in our country. Such a way that it can act as a catalyst for various multi-various application on a multi-specific level or multi-disciplinary proposition. Don't you agree, sir? Am I clear?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm fully agreeing with you. First thing is we have to unlearn.
Unlearn. Everybody is learning the same thing after 50 years.
Whatever we learn, we should erase it, we'll go for new things to enter. Otherwise, it's very difficult.
Other we don't become developed economy. Every time we should developing. Yes, thank you.
It's a good input and question. So I think that unlearning, relearning factors. I mean,
You are a good
these
listener,
have
sir.
become
Morning I'm
a,
seeing, right? You're asking questions in all the panels.
so
Give
this
him
is the
the
new
kind of
culture.
applause, right, for talking, right?
So one last question we will take and we'll.
Yeah.
Two more questions. Do we have time? Just keep it short, please.
This question is to Mr.
No, this forum is to discuss, but just in opposites of time.
This question is to Mr. Nagarajan. Sir, you were talking about the KPIs which will drive through for the academia to go close to the industry. So like that, for the industry, do we have kind of a push to to them to get associated with the academia so that both of them will merge faster?
It's a good question, should be answered by CII. Anyway, see, we cannot see the.
So it's all efforts in progress, I would say.
We cannot dictate industry right to have this kind of KPI. But anyway, right, by policy, government can do like this. So as what might be said by our professor, right, is telling that government is removing all kind of barricades in getting apprenticeship. So government only can decide on those things because they have database of industry, complete database. So they are mapping with the right the students from one institute to the nearby regional industries. So they are doing all those things. So like this, the policy should come from government, otherwise very difficult. Now what I am telling is how to attract industry towards you, towards academia, that is my KPI. But how to make industry to come forward towards automatically is like by the policy of government. So government has to connect the industry with the institution. At least you know at Atal Tinkering Lab, ATL, right? So they are connecting their own teacher to some four schools. Like that, if government is having some kind of program wherein every industry should adopt 4 institutions or 5 institutions. Some policies coming, then maybe possible. So it's only policy with government.
Yeah, my name is Amlavan. I'm the Chief Employment Officer of Pandey company. So we are the 3rd largest staffing and recruitment company. So coming from the industry, I really appreciate this AEDP model. So this just picked up in the diploma. So some of our clients in manufacturing sector, we have done that for that. And my question is, see, this need to be currently, it is being followed only in the polytechnics. In Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and few places, and even a lot of the Karnataka, track, and a lot of the polytechnics are allowing the candidates to go for 6 months internship. And the good thing about the AEDP model is the candidates doesn't need to attend any courses or write any exams back in the campus. So the 60% of the feedback is given by the industry and 40% evaluation is done by the faculties. And AICD has given a proper guideline and everything for that. Now my question is, this need to be extended to the BE, the Bachelor of Engineering graduates also. Like for last 6 months or 1 year, they should be, like currently they are going for the internship and submitting some project and everything. But it needs to be adopted in a more structured manner. See, it should not make us, it should not, see, the industry has the, like I'm coming from industry, but industry has the notion of if the candidates are available for 6 months, whether it is a BE or diploma, like there's a mentality to use them as merely as a workforce. Now, there has to be some sort of a proper guideline in terms of what is the, other than the work, like if a diploma holder is going and working in a factory, other than the work that he is doing for 8 hours, what are the other things that he has learned? There has to be some sort of a guideline and other things need to be instituted. Otherwise, the industry will start misusing this as like another mechanism to get like this one. So I think also my question is related to, in terms of, I know that like for the deemed universities and everything, they can have their BSc, BCom, all of them go through for AEDP model. But how about, and also get the board benefit. But how about the state universities? Like Alabama University, Madras University. So the graduates from those colleges, can they go for this, or how does the, I don't know how it works, like both from the university regulation perspective as well as from the board perspective, I don't know how it works. Thank you.
So I think a lot of clarification was there in his questions, so let me reply one by one. With respect to the diploma that he is telling that they are going and just doing on the job work, whatever the industry requires, so it is not so. Because when first time we have started this program for diploma students in Tamil Nadu, the then Commissioner themselves have drafted some kind of curriculums that need to be imparted as a part of curriculums during the on-job training. And how the assessment will be done, there monthly basis, the industry and the faculty members, concerned faculty members or HODs will go to that industry and do the assessment, and then they will award some kind of gradings for that. So this will happen 6 times in 6 months period of training. So that is very much and very nicely drafted, and very much assessment is happening, and based on that only certification is happening. So in case of AEDP, it is not open like pass out students, that as per the desire of the industry, whatever they want, they can ask them to do. It is not so. Because AEDP is a part of curriculum, so Department of Technical Education has already drafted a course, and some content they have given that at least need to be imparted that time, and assessment will be there on the monthly basis with the head of department and concerned industry. So that is very much happening, because in Telangana it has started just now, so I have to look into that curriculum also. Curriculum is drafted, but how the assessment is happening, I have to look into that, because just now it is started. Your third point was that we have to also see the capacity, what we have. We have around 4,000 plus industry across southern states. So you know that in the act it does not prescribe that how, from where, to whom the industry can engage the apprentices. They have been given full liberty to engage the apprentices as per their choice and criteria. We don't come into the picture of their either sourcing, hiring, selection, training, any process. Only we are just a facilitator, and we monitor that whether it is really happening or not. So in that case, we also see that what is our capacity. So what we have done in December 25 with the Department of Technical Education, we signed the MOU. We have made a kind of prerequisites that for government institutions, we have asked that we can sign MOU with Commissioner of Technical Education or Collegiate Education, whoever it may be, and then all government institutions no need to sign individually. But for private institutions, we have asked them that they have to come to us individually, and we will sign an MOU. Everything is free of cost, don't worry about any money, any penny, nothing is chargeable. Only, but in case of private institution, we have asked them that they can come to us, we will sign MOU separately. So that is the difference only. And as you were asking what about the government university and all, just now I spoke in my session that we are approaching to, like in Karnataka, we have signed the MOU with all the government departments that is running the collegiate educations. So all the degree programs that like BA, BSc, everything is covered for all government institutions in the state of Karnataka. That also MOU have been signed with the concerned Commissioner of Collegiate Education. Now we are approaching to them, even Kerala government also, and even on Monday we are going to the University of Kerala Vice Chancellor, and similarly AP Abdul Kalam University, that is a technical university. So as both questions you were having, that technical university whether we are covering, yes, we are covering the technical university also, but initially we are going to the government institutions, and next phase we will go to the private institutions also. Similarly for the general degree program, our UGC affiliated university, so we are going to University of Kerala also. Similarly, another important steps that we have taken, that we have written to all the state universities and central university. If any one of you are here from state or central university, you might be knowing, we have sent the letters to everyone that this is a AEDP program. We have briefed completely in that letters, and we have asked that we are interested to sign MOU so that we can, if you are ready to convert your curriculum into AEDP program, we are very much happy to extend our support. We will open our database to you, being a government institution, no problem. Even in the first week of August, we are going to Central University Tiruvallur also and converting their programs into this AEDP model. Since this program was approved in October 25, so these 3 milestones so far we have achieved, and many more we have to achieve it. So it is, you can say, it is ongoing process, and certainly in coming few years, this will be the need of the hour, and this will be our major workforce from where we will be getting the
from where I am coming from the industry would be open to take it because it really
yes.
helps the
Again, that is a very important question, that industry should also agree for that.
Yes.
So, as you know that, see, industry we can bring it. If any industry, like morning I was there in the Tilman Sai Industrial Association, all MSME. So now we are trying to push this apprenticeship training scheme into the MSME, because Act says very clearly that any industry having 30 or more than 30 manpower, it becomes a statutory obligation to engage the apprentices. So yes, if any industry is not with us, even you can provide us just database, we will bring them. That is our duty and responsibility. We will bring it that. But MSME 4 to 29 manpower they have, the act says that optional, so we can't go as per the statutory obligations. So we are requesting them, as we were discussing, no, like MSMEs are also scattered across the state, and institutions are also scattered across the state. So we want to connect MSME with those institutions, so that the student don't have to move from their home state to all the way to Chennai or Coimbatore or Trichy like that. So this is our first foremost criteria that we are selecting MSME also. And as you might be knowing, in MSME only all in-depth learning happens, because they have to do by their own bare hands, and real learning happens in the MSME only. So our next area of focus is that bringing MSME into the fold of AEDP, so that students don't have to move from their own home states. Second is that the MSME will also get the benefit, because all the MSMEs, again today morning more than 100 MSMEs were there, they were telling, sir, be rest assured that once they complete apprenticeship training, they will be part of us, they will not just send them out. So this is a good message I got from MSME associations. I hope I have replied to you. Thank you.
So Vijay sir, I can only say with all this flow, it speaks what all is happening, so it's just victory karna in the local thing. So the success is guaranteed, just it's a moment of time and effort. So on this note, thank you very much everyone for your time and all the inputs. Concluding the session.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was a very brightening way to end the one-day conference. On behalf of CII, I'd like to thank all the speakers who had spent their time today with us, giving very valuable inputs. And a very big thank you to all the delegates who have stayed until the last session and was very happy to see fruitful discussions happening even in the last session. Also thanking our sponsors for the event, without whom this event would not have been possible. Our principal sponsor, Federal Institute of Technology, Chennai. Our co-sponsors, Hindustan Group of Institutions, Kalvium Institute of Technology, Sona College of Technology. Our associate sponsors, St. Peter's College of Engineering and Rajesh Group of Institutions.